So I thought we'd do a day in the life video today. Haven't done one of those in a while, and I'm going to the art museum, so I wanted to take you guys along. The podcast interview I was going to record this morning got postponed because of some roofing, not here, but with the person I was going to interview. So I've just been taking a little Instagram photo, and now I'm going to have a reading break. So I'm reading I Capture the Castle by Dodie Smith. I've heard of this for ages, and I thought it was going to be more like The Castle in the Attic, like more of a children's, but this is set in the 1940s, and it's about a family that doesn't have a lot of money, but they're living in a castle that was kind of renovated by the Victorians, and it's run down and derelict. And I'm really enjoying it so far, and it was highly suggested by J.K. Rowling. I've just got to this new section, and I love these illustrations. Before we go, I thought we'd check on the garden. We've just had some rain, so these are Camelot Rose Foxglove that I just put in last week. Love how the raindrops look on those. They're looking really pretty. And then over here, these were supposed to be English bluebells, but I think they may be English-Spanish hybrid. They're more like Spanish bluebells, but they're still pretty, and I don't live in England, so the hybridizing is not so much an issue here. Then these I've transplanted, and they're kind of past their prime, my daffodils and bulbs. And then this little Scabiosa needs to perk up a little bit. It's also known as Lady's Pincushion. It's going to be really pretty when it kind of takes in the rain. Then we've got our Millery Sphere. I always love these in sorry. I always love these in Dumbledore's office. I want to kind of put a dark wash of paint over this because this is just a planter. And then this is the Russian Sage, and those are Allium, which are like the purple puffball flowers, and then all the rest is empty. I have a lot of seed packets to sow soon, but we've been working on this. I think it took over a year just to build the bed because Nathan was really particular how he wanted it level and our ground slopes, so it's like really short over there, and then it grows to 3 tall over here. So that was a lot of work, but now it's to the fun part, and it's not all perfectly weeded or anything, but just wanted to show you the progress on the garden. And now we're gonna take off to the museum. We just take a moment to appreciate the weeds. These are so pretty. I think there's something called Veronica, maybe Veronica Speedwell, and I love the little tiny blue flowers. One day I'm gonna get my macro out here and get some really good photos, but I don't know if it will be this spring. So I decided I had to take a few photos before I go because last week when I planted these, it was super sunny, which isn't great for taking flower photos. So this is from a hike that we did in Eureka Springs. It's a bloodroot flower, but these are the garden from today. And now we're really gonna go to the museum. So I've recorded this voiceover several times now because I'm not really sure what to say, and because conversations about race can be uncomfortable. But also, I think it is really important to talk about what this exhibit brought up for me, and that was a complete lack of understanding of Black history. I think that a lot of the events and the topics that this art was created around is really glossed over because it is uncomfortable and painful. But that it can be so important to see art and hear stories from people who are different than you. And I'm glad that more and more of those stories are being highlighted and visible and available now, where in the past museums were really an old white guy territory. I'm really glad that Crystal Bridges brought this. Even though it was uncomfortable, the artwork was also very beautiful and very well crafted and visually interesting, but also very, very thought-provoking. So I'm not going to be on a high horse here and try to explain racism and social injustice. I'm not knowledgeable enough to do that, but I thought it was important to acknowledge my own lack of understanding. And I'll link to an audiobook that I'm reading down below. That was kind of the step that I took when I came home from this exhibit. But no matter how many books you read or stories you listen to, you can never have a complete understanding of someone else's experience, and that's not limited to race. It could also relate to mental health, a lot of things. So that's it for today's day in the life. I kind of came home and had a very thoughtful, introspective afternoon, so I don't really have a wrap up for you here. But I will have another video coming up later this week talking about the book that we're reading for the Kindle Book Club, so keep your eye out for that, and I'll see you next time. Can you believe this blue sky? We had snow like 2 weeks ago, and now it's 80 degrees.